What the fuck is up, Kinda Funny Games? It's me, Greg Miller, and this is your Ask Us Anything for the month of November 2017, also known as the month Justice League came out. I'm Cyborg now. Now I'm Aquaman, yeah. And now booyah, I'm a Cyborg again. Justice League's out in theaters now. They didn't sponsor us. If this is your first Kinda Funny Games AMA, let me explain it to you over on patreon.com/kindafunnygames. You go and support us. You make this dream possible. You make the studio happen. You make Kevin happen. You pay all our paychecks. You keep us there and we make you cool shit we hope you enjoy. That's how it works. Go support us there. If you support us over there, you are allowed to post questions for this here Ask Us Anything video. I read the questions. I answer the questions. Then we put the video up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and the world gets to say, hey, look at Steven Oslin, he supports Kinda Funny Games. Maybe I should support them over on patreon.com/kindafunnygames as well. Usually we put up at the first of the month. We were late this month, and then it's a short month because of Thanksgiving. So let's crack our knuckles, get in there. Kevin's giving me a big thumbs up. I fudged up my hair, though. Don't judge my hair, Kinda Funny Games viewers, on this. I look at the spit curl, not even, I'm gonna put the hood up. Just putting the hood up. You got to do it sometimes.
No,
you know, Kev?
You look scary when you put your hood up.
What I want you to, and now what I want you to do, Kevin, while I do this, is change this background to something like Empire from like, you know, fucking. I'm the Empire now. You know what I mean, from Star Wars. Because that's how I look now. I look evil. But I kind of round it. It kind of is a cute round, and I kind of look like an ice climber. Anyways, back to the questions. That didn't even begin yet.
Oh.
Got them all set up.
I'm gonna tell you, that doesn't sound great in my ears.
Does that sound better? Mm-hmm. We're gonna start with Paul Vidas. Paul writes in and says, what was the first game you bought that you were disappointed in? Well, as you know, I had a Sega Master System. So there's a lot of games I was probably disappointed in. But let's talk about something I bought, which then gets to a different thing. I think the big one, obviously, that I've talked about here and there, but I don't think I've ever gone into detail, of course, Superman 64 for the Nintendo 64. If you're unfamiliar with this, Greg Miller raised a Sega fanboy. Started with the Sega Master System, had the Sega Genesis, had the Sega Saturn, skipped Sega CD, Sega Saturn broke my back, never got a Dreamcast. I was like, fuck you guys, you're dead to me. However, I remember opening up an issue of Wizard magazine, at which point they had a little side runner about this Superman N64 game Titus was putting out. And I said, I'm buying an N64. I got to play this piece of game. This is going to be the best game of all time. Superman's getting a video game. You kidding me? Now, luckily, a lot of this game kept getting punted, kept getting delayed. This Superman 64 game. Thank you, Kevin. This looks great. And so I got an N64 down the line. A little games called Smash Brothers, GoldenEye. These are things that were coming at all the wrestling games, obviously, that were making me go, holy shit, this is a great system. And I kept my eyes peeled for the Superman 64 game, ready and waiting. And this is one of the games, you know, I used to call the store about, do you have an update? Do you have an update? Do you have an update? No. The internet was just starting to become a thing back then. I remember going to Titus's website. They were a French company, and they didn't have anything up there either. And so it was just a nonstop, holy shit, what are we going to do? Are we going to get this game? How's it going to be? Finally, the game happens. I am at least 16 because I can drive the Ford Taurus over to the mall to go get it. Go to the mall. I've pre-ordered it, of course. What up, Electronics Boutique? Get in there, buy the game, come back out. I'm in a Superman shirt, by the way. It was a big day for me. Never forget it. And what I always talk about is I opened the door and go to get back into the car, and I had stepped in a piece of gum, and it had this long tendril. It was a hot summerish day. To my foot from the asphalt. And I always talk about it. It was almost as if the parking lot was grabbing me saying, just go return the game. Don't even bother getting this game, like trying to pull me back to it. I didn't listen. I got in the car, drove home. Joe and Carol Jackson were having a barbecue that night, a family neighborhood barbecue kind of thing. And I was like, fuck that, not doing that. Sat there and played this N64 game that was awful. That was just terrible. A terrible, terrible, terrible video game that I kept trying to. Okay, no, this is, well, the rings are weird and it's really confusing and not that, but it's, all right, this is better. Hey, Lois is, okay, well, hey, Jimmy, okay, well, like, kept trying, and it wasn't the next morning I woke up and started playing again. I was like, holy shit, this is just a fucking bad game. This is just a terrible, terrible, terrible game. And turned it off and never played it again outside of a Let's Play on Kinda Funny games. And I remember I had a friend who's older than me, and I remember him talking to me like a week later, and he's like, oh man, yeah, finally, you know, beat Darkseid or whatever last night. I was like, what? And he's like, oh, you know, the Super Game. I'm like, oh, I didn't even get there. I had to stop playing because it's so broken and stupid. And that was the most insulting part. Well, not even insulting, I guess. But the most hurtful part But then the silver lining of the hurtful part is that the game is so bad that it is universally acclaimed as one of the worst games of all time. So it wasn't even just that it was bad and like it was forgettable. It was like so fucking bad, everyone knows it was bad. And so even if you didn't play the game and share that pain, you share the pain of knowing how bad the game was, kind of thing. But that was a heartbreaker. That one sucked. Austin Moore says, what's your ideal PS5 launch look like? What would you see being the big launch title? And what would the messaging to consumers look like? More on the power side or something more gimmicky? So PlayStation 5, when it inevitably comes around, I think they need to go. I want to see them double down on what made PlayStation 4's launch such a success. We are in the machine for gamers. This is a gamer machine. I don't know, with iterative consoles now, with PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One X, they're good and all, but now you need to put out a console for PlayStation 5 that plays all your backwards compatible PlayStation 4 games, and the next big thing in 4K crazy ass gaming is gonna look like this, and here's the tech, and here's what you're getting, and it's still super easy to port PC games over. It is basically a high-end PC, and it's doing all these amazing things. It'll make VR better if we're still doing that. I don't count that as a gimmick. I count that as a branch of PlayStation, one of their legs to stand on in this argument. No gimmicks outside of that stuff. I don't want no more touch shit. I say even take the fucking touchpad controller out, or take the touchpad off the controller. Give me a more regular DualShock. Can't take away the light bar because of obviously the VR stuff. But maybe a controller doesn't gobble batteries or battery life as much. But the PlayStation 5 thing, I'm trying the hair again. The PlayStation 5, looking down that line, is a really hard one to predict because with this iterative consoles and how they're doing it, I don't know how you get out there and sell another PlayStation 5 like that. I hope it's a ways out. I hope we get a few, and when I say few, I mean a good number of years still out of PlayStation 4, out of PlayStation 4 Pro. I think Pactor was on, or maybe it was Ubisoft on record saying they thought they had at least 2 more years out of this. I think though, I want more than that, I think, out of it. But the lineup I want to see, or in terms of the launch, I want to see them get back to what made PlayStation 4 work, of like, we are PlayStation, no bullshit. More of the PSX messaging than the E3 messaging. Hey, this is about you, the PlayStation fan base. This is a console for gamers. This is what it's all about. It's going to be easier. It's going to be faster load times. The internet's going to be better. Yeah, da-da-da-da-da-da. In terms of the launch lineup of games, I hate doing that. I want to be surprised. I don't need to know anything about it. You know what I mean? I don't want to know what it is. I feel like knowing PlayStation's exclusive lineup now, I'll tell you right now, I don't want another Uncharted. I'd rather see, hey, Naughty Dog has a new IP and it's launching as a launch game on PlayStation 5, which of course will inevitably get delayed out of the launch window. But I would love to see it be that. That way we're excited for it that way. Bye, Andrew Renee. Bye. See you later. Whoa, back to the American flag. Doing the American flag. And that really showcases how bad the hair is.
You put your beanie, your hood down.
I know. I see. I'm with you now, Big Kev Dog. I'm with you. I'd rather see new stuff there. I feel like that's what it's got to be, depending on how far out it is. But yeah, a new Naughty Dog franchise or new Naughty Dog game. Not Last of Us, not Uncharted. That'd be a great way to open it up. But get weird with it. Have some fun with it. Don't worry so much about your sequels and your whatnots there. PlayStation's going to be coming off a pretty great PlayStation 4 run. Don't fuck it up with PlayStation 5. Go back to being the, hey, look, it's Shu and Adam exchanging a game. Hey, look, it's this fun thing. They're having good times, right? That's the whole thing of what works right now in 2017 as a company, whether you're us or Xbox or PlayStation, right? Transparency, being people. Don't get lost in being PlayStation. Put Shuhei out in front. Put Mark Cerny back out in front. Have people out there talking about what makes the PlayStation 5 so great. Ned Newberry says, is it right that some content creators weaponize their communities against people? This is the first time I've heard talking about content creators weaponizing communities. So I don't know if this is like a real term that kicked around the internet. What do you mean weaponize? I assume that's the bad thing, right? So it'd be like me saying, hey, kind of funny best friends, IGN fucked us over. Everyone go to this GameScoop and fucking be, that sucks. That's a juvenile way to handle things in this thing I just made up. I don't know if there's some reference, if there's something in more reality, like, hey, everybody, IGN just murdered somebody. Don't go to IGN. That's a different thing, I think. I don't know how IGN, the company, would murder somebody. Other than, of course, the complete hit job they did in Mario Kart Double Dash, giving it a 7.9. But, I mean, do we weaponize our community and we're like, hey, everybody go vote for Andrew Renee for Trending Gamer? I don't think so, but you could make a case for that, I guess, right? But we're doing it in a goodwill way, right? Or the positive way of like, hey, we're trying to celebrate somebody, not tear somebody down. And I guess that would be the difference. So I'm defining weaponize as motivating your community to go after someone you have a vendetta against. And that would be wrong, yes. You need to be bigger than that. It's what we talk about all the time here on Kind of Funny and everything else, right? Be Superman about it. Let the punches bounce off you. You got nothing for them. Don't worry about it. Sticks and stones, all that jazz. It's just the internet. Don't get so wrapped up in it. No, we shouldn't weaponize communities against people. We shouldn't weaponize cats either. Joe Shalif says, how do you feel about Kind of Funny Games Daily? Has it come together as you had envisioned it? Is it being received as well as you expected? Well, thank you, Joe. I love Kind of Funny Games Daily. It's come together better than I envisioned it. It's actually been more of a success than I envisioned it being, I think. Obviously, launching that and wanting to take the DNA of Podcast Beyond, P.S. I Love You, bring it to something else and put it into a daily format. I remember when Tim and I started talking about this, and it was, dude, I don't know how we're going to be able to do P.S. I Love You / Beyond daily. That sounds crazy. That we're going to have to bring in help, and I don't know how we're going to do that. And there was a lot of versions we kicked around before we were like, what if we contracted people? What if we had Danny and Andrea in here on contractor basis? The way you, the audience, the best friends, have taken to the show has been astounding. The way you've taken to the hosts, whether it be Gary, Danny, or Andrea, is amazing. The way it's just a great product. We're proud of that product. We think it looks great. We think it's different than the other stuff we do. Because that's the other thing, of launching another games podcast is like, well, how do we differentiate it from Gamescast or Gamescast from it? And I think we've done a good job of that. Gamescast being much more, hey, what have you been playing? And hey, here's a broader question than, hey, we're talking about microtransactions for the 20th time in a row. So I've been super thrilled with Kind of Funny Games Daily. It's come together differently. I've talked about it in past, no, I guess I've only talked about it in closed circles, like at the Maryland Extra Life thing for Irrational Passions. But the ownership Andrea's taken of it has been amazing. We had a meeting with her obviously a while ago about like, all right, cool, a check-in. We've been going for a while now. Let's talk about this, that, and the other. And then she was like, well, what's your guys' vision for the show? And it was that thing of like, well, I've been working so hard on this show, and there's so many other things going. We're spinning so many plates at once. I haven't thought about the vision of Kind of Funny Games Daily and where I want to take it. So to have a co-host who's that into it, that in the weeds of it, especially when she's not a full-time Kind of Funny person. Obviously, she's running What's Good Games as well. That's awesome and astonishing and enlightening, and I love having that kind of feedback from her, and I love her coming in and, before we go live, going through all the stories, finding relevant things she wants to talk to about it, having supplementary links open on her screen that she can pull from. She's been great. Obviously, getting Gary has been huge. Gary's been so awesome at coming in here and having such a different perspective on all of this and knowing the business from a different side. Kind of Funny Games Daily is already above and beyond what I thought it was going to be, and that's awesome. And is it being received as well as you'd expected? It's being received better than I expected. The numbers are stronger than I've expected. As Tim said on the show weeks and months ago now, right, that like, when you look at the numbers of downloads, we're the #1 gaming daily podcast or whatever, daily gaming podcast, which is crazy. And then, to see it chart on iTunes all the time and see it do so well on YouTube for us, it's all awesome. For 2018, looking forward, I hope we have some cool stuff up our sleeve for it. I think we have some cool announcements coming for it soon. As always, I'd love you guys to help promote it more, get it out there, get it to different people. I'd like to, I think we have a great thing here with the best friends, but obviously that extends to other people and having them just come in and listen and get a different perspective. Because again, we want to celebrate games and gaming culture and show that it's not all assholes being assholes to each other on Twitter. Stephen Oslin says, hi, Greg. Are there any VR titles from this year that you can see yourself spending some time in now that the onslaught of games is dying down a little? Or is it just not something that speaks to you enough that you would sacrifice time spent in a traditional game? Personally, the last time I played PlayStation VR was Super Hot VR when it came out a few months ago, but have been thinking of jumping into Farpoint and Res Infinite soon. You should totally play Super Hot, by the way. So excited to see you guys and hang out at PSX and Polite. Glad you're coming to both, Stephen. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of stuff stacked up right now for PlayStation VR. Super Hot's on there. Megaton Rainfall is on there. The Ghostbusters experience is on there. Paranormal Activity VR is on there, which I tried to play at Extra Life and told it was a shitbag failure. And then, I never even gave Res the time of day like I should have. My plan is what you're talking about. We got another VR headset from PlayStation, FTC, we got it from PlayStation, so we could do more multiplayer stuff. As of us recording this today, Rec Room is out today. I think that'd be a fun Let's Play for me and Kev to do since we're the big supporters of VR in the office. But I set up the second PlayStation VR headset at my desk because that was, I think, one of the barriers to playing at home is the fact that it wasn't set up, number one. And number two, when I'm at home, I'd like to be able to talk to Jen since I don't see her all day. Whereas here, if I have an afternoon free, sure, knock on the headset, try some of this stuff out, especially when it is, how long am I going to play Megaton Rainfall? The Ghostbusters experience is 15 minutes. Get those shorter experiences out here, which is the struggle I have when I do have time to play games here. It is very much, well, fuck, I don't want to get into Wolfenstein that I need to play another, 8 hours of or whatever. I'd rather play shorter things where I feel like I'm making progress and have something to say. So yes, short answer, there are VR titles I need to play, I expect to play, and I want to knock out some stuff to get to. Nicole Humphrey says, what is the game you most regret playing in 2017? Ooh. See, well, here, we're going to go to, let's go to psnprofiles.com/GameOverGreggy. A great site if you're not if you don't use PSN profiles, you should. I pay for it because it's that good of a site. But here's the thing I'll say is I don't regret playing anything, right? Anything I play, even if I hate it, I get to come talk to you about. But also keep in mind that unlike Superman 64, I wasn't investing. Well, I shouldn't say that. Some of these games I bought, obviously, some of them I get for codes. But more importantly, there's so many things to play that if I don't like something, I bounce out of it right away, right? Emily wants to play. We played during Extra Life. That game fucking sucks. It's a terrible game. Now, do I regret playing it? No, it's fun stream content, but whatever. Keep rolling back here. You know what I regret playing? WWE 2K18. Not my time with the game, but that time that I let Andy challenge me for the Kinda Funny World Championship, and I lost it to him. That was embarrassing, and I was a cocky champion. I shouldn't have lost my title that way. We're looking through my trophies here. We're looking for a game I regret, but I don't regret much. Greg says live every day to the fullest and have some fun. Infinite Mini Golf was a bad game too, but I got trophies on it, right? 4 bronze trophies popped pretty quick, so I ain't mad about that. Arizona Sunshine was a letdown, but I don't regret playing it. Mass Effect Andromeda was a letdown, but I don't regret playing it. Didn't beat it, obviously.
Obviously.
I regret not putting more time into Vostok Inc. That was a fun game. Shmup like shooting stuff, then farming money in the game or whatever. Definitely don't regret playing 1000 top rated trophy game. Got my platinum super quick. That was great. Don't regret Energy Cycle. Platinum super quick. Don't regret Mr. Masaji. Platinum super quick. So no, don't regret anything. I'm fucking awesome. Games are awesome. Play games that you know you're gonna like. You can read the reviews. You can watch the videos. You know what's up nowadays. And final one, unless I'm misreading this, and I don't think I am. And again, sorry, it was a short window to get questions in this year. Month. Whatever. John Burleson says, which games are you most excited for in 2018? Last of Us 2. John, shut your whore mouth. Last of Us Part 2 is not coming out next year. Stop spreading these fucking lies right now so none of y'all have heartbroken heartbreaks later. All right? Get on fucking board. So, games that have been announced for 2018 that we're thinking of, right, of course. Well, I think the obvious knee-jerk reaction is Spider-Man. Apparently, Spider-Man's coming next year. Insomniac says it. Brian says so. I ask them what's the real release date. They dodge it. They're cowards. I'm excited for Spider-Man. However, I do believe I'm more excited for Detroit Become Human. And David Cage, of course. Telling your stories. It looks like a return to form, back to the heavy rain kind of game I love. I'm super stoked for that. And so I guess that's what it is, but Spider-Man's right there. It's neck and neck. I'm interested in Ni no Kuni 2. I doubt I'll ever put enough time into it. Those games are so huge, as you saw. Persona 5 this year, right? Persona 5 fan couldn't even get it done. Fucking Cheeks Jr. called it. Kevin, don't boo me.
I can't help it.
Kevin, don't boo me.
Speak for the people.
You don't speak for anybody.
That's not true.
Nobody, even Paula. Interested to see what happens with Crackdown.
No, you're not.
To see what happens with Crackdown, yeah.
No, you're not.
God only knows what Nintendo's gonna do. I'd be excited if they said they're gonna do a Smash. You can play more Smash around here. Kevin liked that one. So yeah, we're gonna say excited the most for Detroit, actually. Knee-jerk reaction, blind, but a Spider-Man right behind it. Now I'm gonna refresh here and make sure I didn't miss anything, because I don't want to miss anybody. You know what I mean, Kev?
Yep.
Kev knows what I mean.
Can't miss him.
No, that's it. So ladies and gentlemen, that's your Ask Kinda Funny Games Anything for the month of November 2017. Remember, you can go over to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Support us there each and every month. We put up the post saying who's going to be on the AMA. You put your questions there. You ask them. We answer them. Everybody has a good time. Until next time, Please like, subscribe, share. And remember, until next time, it's been my pleasure to serve you. I said until next time a lot there. Kevin's not on the ball. There it is. Kind of funny.